Rise and shine, beautiful souls. All right, look, I'm seeing this type of rhetoric go on all over the place. And so I am going to pause the video just to give some talking points. But this conversation really needs to be had. All right? Check this out, family.
It's only
I
entertainment.
pay every bill in this house, right? And I fix everything in this house because I'm an electrician. What are you bringing to the table as a woman? What do you realistically do other than have sex?
Okay, now, first of all, please understand this. Men full well know that life is a competition. We have not been pandered to. Our emotions or egos have not been catered to. We have been brought into this world with the blatant facts. Life is about competition. You cannot be lazy and expect to get a woman. We have even quotes for it, right? First you get the money, then you get the respect, then you get the women. You understand? Go get that money, and the women will chase you. You understand? So we come to the table knowing that it's not about our looks. That even though we can have looks, that it means nothing, because the female herself will tell you you got to bring something to the table. Now this has been set in stone and pushed in men's mind since the beginning. So we have full well accepted this. Now the female, they haven't been told things like this. They've been told that they were pretty. You fine enough, I will marry you. I'll drink your bath water. I'll do anything for you. Or I'll get her pregnant just because she looks good. When we walk over and speak to a woman, the first thing we're telling her is that she is beautiful. So please understand that her reality has not been presented with things like you must bring something to the table. Okay, now that this has been said, and men are seeing a problem now with a lot of the modern women and how they're moving. Now we're posing this question, and women can't handle that question. Okay, it's never been posed to them, and a lot of times when it's posed, they find it offensive. They get defensive, and you can tell they're grasping at straws. Okay, but the problem is, number one, the way this question is presented. He says, I pay for everything. I pay for the house. I can fix the house because I'm an electrician. What are you bringing to the table besides sex? When you pose a question in that way, you've already reduced her. And now she's already going to be defensive because you're saying besides sex, assuming she was even going to say sex. You understand? So when you're trying to build with a potential partner, you should sit with them and discuss what you trying to do with your life going forward as far as your vision. And then once you've done this, you can ask them what they bring to the table. But if you just broad and say, hey, I'm going to pay the bills, I'm going to fix things, what are you bringing to the table? It's kind of like a person has to reach deep inside of them to all their experiences and value and just tell you something that they think is going to sound good. Imagine going to a job interview where you don't know what the job entails, but they're asking you what you bring to the table. You know, you'll probably be a little frustrated. You know, I don't know exactly what it is you want from me, because if I just give you my past experiences, you may tell me you don't have an opening for me. So we should have a conversation so I can see where I fit in to your vision or where you're trying to go with your life. But let's get on with it.
Lady here, I want to know, what are you bringing to the table for the man that takes care of you?
Here we go. And take notes. So what I do is I make that house that you pay for, that you pay that mortgage for, I make it at home. I cook the meals. I'm washing clothes.
That's $100 a week.
Don't play with me.
I could get it made.
No.
Already, family. She said that house, I'm going to make a home. That's not actually saying anything, Queens. Changing these words around, that's not saying anything. You give me a seed, I give you a baby. You give me a house, I give you a home. You're not saying anything. So you need to understand why this is not received. You understand? And then when she goes into detail to try to break that down, cook, clean, he goes, I can afford that. I can pay for that. That's $100 a week. So even right then, when she gives him the answers, he's already reducing her value. Now imagine, men, she asks you what you bring to the table. You say, I can pay the bills, right? I can fix things. What if she says, I can get somebody to pay my rent? Even if it's not the same man, I can bounce around and get somebody to pay my rent. People will do that. They give you some money up front. I don't need a relationship to get somebody to pay my rent, right? You said they can't buy someone to buy them a house, but they can get somebody to pay their bills. You understand? Because men do stuff like that. You understand? So when you say that, she's not reducing you. But if you told her that you're going to do all these things and she says, I can get somebody to do that, how would you feel?
It's not their fault. Listen, the worst thing a female can do, and what this society to trick us into thinking cool, is acting like they don't need us. That's the worst thing a man, as a man, if you telling me as a man, you don't need me, why the fuck would I be with you? Why would I even come? You telling me you don't need me. I'm a man. That's my whole reason of existing.
You see, if you said, I'm going to fix things, and she says, well, I can pay an electrician, how would you feel? See how this works? It's like you're posing the question, but you're doing it in an offensive way. Here we go.
No, you see that? And see, that's where you're going wrong. It costs more than $100 a week to have somebody
And she already got locked in and she's chasing what he's saying. She should have never done that, but let's go.
cook for you, to have somebody clean up after you. Because a lot of times you men become our children. All right. We dress y'all. We pick out y'all clothes. We cook for y'all.
The men complain that it started off that way, but then they start slacking. They don't do what they don't keep up with that same type of energy, but they expect the man to keep that same energy of continue on providing in that aspect. So I'm hearing the complaints. So you can speak for yourself, but a lot of women say, I don't want to cook.
Let's backtrack. I make a house.
That is true. While men often lead with what they're going to do to take care of a woman, they're already buying things, they're already paying bills, they're already willing to do those things before they get to know you well. They're already willing to protect you. They're already willing to do those things. So men don't really have a timeline as far as vulnerability goes. Like, if I buy her this already, she might just be using me. Men don't really think like that, so they don't really hold back when it comes to being a man, being masculine for women. You understand? But women, because they have all of these fears they've been presented with, and been the male has been created to be like a monster to the female. So she's constantly told that all we want is sex. All we want to do is get this one thing, use you, play with your mind, then hurt your feelings, pick you up, open you up, and then break you. So now she's leading with all these walls. She doesn't want to be vulnerable because she doesn't want to give up too much, so she doesn't end up hurt. So she does a lot of the dating in her mind. So she's actually like, a lot of times you could sleep with a woman and she's not orgasming, not because you're not hitting the right spots, but because she's in her mind. There's a social system that keeps women from really truly being free. They can't have as many sexual partners. They can't be as sexual. So that woman, she's probably thinking, if I do these special things for him, he'll think I'm a whore. If I do it too soon, he'll think I'm a whore. He'll value me less. If I make certain noises, he'll value me less. If I get into it too much, he'll value me less. So a lot of times what you're seeing is a reflection of the mind, of the trauma. You understand? So let's carry on.
House a home. Okay. All the furniture you get to come home and lay up on, I pick that shit out. That's right. You know what I'm saying? When the paper towels go away in the bathroom, you know who goes to the store to get them? You know who gets on Amazon to get that? All the shit that you don't even think about that makes your life easier, I do that. You
understand? Let me ask you a question, right?
See right there, like picking out furniture and paper towels. Like, men don't need people to pick them out furniture. In this moment, she doesn't recognize her value. So she's saying things that they say a woman should do. Just broadly, a woman should do, not what she brings to the table. So she's kind of lost in the sauce because of his argument. Do you understand? She's not reaching deep in her to say what she's bringing to the table. You guys see this? What's happening? All right, let's continue.
Everything that you're telling me can be bought. Guess what?
Everything you telling me can be bought. Again, he reduces her again, which isn't going to bring her into the frame of mind to answer this question. It's only going to frustrate her more and make her feel further reduced. You understand? Here we go.
I can have an assistant order me paper towels and toilet paper and groceries on Amazon. Actually, I get Whole Foods delivered to my house weekly. It's a subscription. I get meal preps every week. My meal preps is $100.
It's like you reducing your queen, your potential woman, down to Amazon and getting meal preps. And it's like, are we trying to demean this woman down to that she's only duties? You see what I'm saying? I'm thinking that we've forgotten about what it truly takes to create a heritage. Men, please don't get lost in the sauce on this subject. I do know that women out there will use you. I do know that women out there don't fully understand, for the most part, that they should be bringing something to the table, or they should at least know their value, so they can answer the question to what they bring to the table. I know what you're going through. I have went through it myself out here in the dating world. But please don't lose track of your vision. Our goal as men is to find a woman of quality, okay? A wife of quality, so we can have children with her. So genetics matter. Okay, her character matters because she's going to raise your children. Her intellect matters because she is going to raise your children. Her being able to cook is so much more than some meal preps. Her actually being able to cook is not about making food taste good for you. It is about cooking food that is healthy for your body, so she can become your doctor. Do you understand that if she's cooking for you the right way, you're not sick as much, your immune system's not dropping, you're not producing mucus, you have more energy, you're going to be more productive, your state of mind is going to be clearer, making your way of life, or your your health, overall way of life, of course, better. This queen would do that. If she's raising your children the right way, she's creating strong minds within your children. This you cannot pay for. You see what I'm saying? You can't pay for this. You understand? So this is very key. Now, granted, Kevin, Kevin, you're explaining some fairy tale woman, but I'm not. See, if you break these things down in initial conversations before you begin your relationship, you might end up with this queen. You might manifest this queen. You might summon this queen out of the woman that you're dating by telling her what it is you're looking for. Instead of just saying, I can get somebody to cook. Do you actually know the importance of cooking? It's not just about making food taste good. You understand? It's actually about your health, okay? So if you actually understand what it truly means to raise your children, to not create cycles, you understand, and truly give your child a healthy mind, a healthy outlook on life, so they can be productive and carry your lineage further. Okay, you want a good queen that can do these things while you're out working and focusing and being that provider and that protector to the home. Okay, so you can't pay for that. You understand? But I will continue.
$120 and I get 3 meals a day. I make myself my own breakfast. That's 4 square meals. I have another cleaning lady. She charges me $100 a week to come clean. You are only saving me $600. What are you bringing outside? Listen, if you ask a man, what is he bringing to the table? I'm bringing a house to the table.
That I can also pay for myself.
Okay, but you're not.
But I can.
But you're not.
But I can.
But you're not.
So he said, if you ask me what I'm bringing to the table, I can say it straight up. I'm bringing a house. She goes, that I can also pay for myself. He says, but you're not, right? You're not paying for the house by yourself, and you can't get a man to buy you a house. You can't buy a man to buy you a house. I can pay for an assistant to make me food. I can pay for an assistant to order things for me, to handle things for me, but you can't pay for a man to buy you a house. So this is where we get lost in the sauce here, okay? Because again, you're not understanding what each party is supposed to bring to the table. You're comparing your masculinity to her femininity, saying, I'm bringing a house to the table. What are you bringing? As if she's supposed to bring something tangible to the table. What that queen brings to the table, family, you're going to get to use later, okay? Her character is going to pay off in the end when she's raising your beautiful children. Do you understand? If she does not have the skill sets to be able to prepare a healthy meal, these things can be learned. But if you're asking her on day one, what you bring to the table besides sex, please understand you're going to get the worst out of this queen, because you're reducing her. And when she tells you, I can cook and clean, and you say, I can pay for that, you're reducing her. Again, what are you bringing to the house? What are you bringing to the table? If she says a house and she goes, well, I already own a house, I can pay for that, you're going to feel reduced, right? You're going to feel like I have nothing that this woman needs. So you're going to be on to the next one. That's all you're doing, is when you treat these queens like this, you're just telling her she's not enough for you. But these conversations I had on these platforms, like, it's speaking for all women. Like, all men think this way, and all women need to get with the program and be bringing something tangible to the table. It's not like that, family. You might have a few men who think like this, but many of us want a good woman. Many of us want a good wife, and we'll do all that providing as long as we get one. You understand? Because we understand the importance of our children, our heritage going forward, the loyalty that a good woman brings to the table. These things cannot be bought, family. I'll carry on.
You're not willing to. That's the point.
I was taking care of myself before I was married.
And then you got married and stopped taking care of yourself.
Multiple mortgages. I still take care of shit. That's the thing.
Listen, I'm not saying you can't make.
She got married and stopped taking care of herself. That's an assertion. What do you mean she stopped taking care of herself? She says she has other mortgages. If she's with a man and she was paying for her home and she moved in with that man who's paying for his home, of course she's not going to pay for that home. That's not speaking about her in a negative way. That's her doing her role in that said relationship. Now, in another relationship where a man couldn't cover the whole bills, she likely would have to do that or decide whether or not she wants to be in that relationship. I think the thing is, man, if you feel like you want something special from a queen, then find that special queen. But when you're reducing her, saying, I can order meal preps, I can order Amazon, obviously you're looking for something specific that I don't even know what you're looking for. I'm not trying to be harsh to you, man. I understand where you're coming from, but I'm trying to let you know, when you explain this shit to females and you're doing it in this way, it's not coming off well. You look soft. You really do. We look super soft, saying, I'm paying for this, I'm paying for that. What are you doing? Now, we're trying to rephrase these questions for modern women, but I'm telling you, men don't think this way. I don't know where we adopted this type of frame of thought from. I get we're trying to make a point, but we just need to vet better. Do you understand what that means? I'll continue.
You can't make money. What I'm saying is, what you're bringing What you're bringing to this table is a service that can be paid for versus what a man has to bring to the table for your life. You can't buy somebody to buy you a home. I could buy somebody to cook and clean for my house. I can't buy a person to come give me a house, give me a car, take care of me, and make sure all my bills
But I
in the house
can
ain't
still do that. That's what
I'm not saying that you can't. I'm saying that you're not.
I'm gonna interject here. Can I do that?
So he's not saying that she can't. He's saying that she's not. So I wish I could speak to this brother, because I would say, what would you like for her to bring to the table? Because we could have cut all the way through this instead of you just asking, what are you bringing to the table? And don't say sex. What are you bringing to the table besides sex? It's like you telling her that her answer was going to be sex, you know? And then when she gives you an answer, you reduce it and say, I can get that by paying for it. Then be single. You understand what I'm saying? If you can do all of that and your requirements for this queen is all of that, then just be single then, bruh. Order your snacks, order your food, get your 3 meal preps a day, cook your breakfast, wash your pay your assistant to wash your clothes, pay your assistant to do all of these things. But if you've forgotten that queens bring so much more to the table than these types of tangible things, again, raising your children, love, loyalty, commitment, a life partner, okay, encouragement, inspiration, these things are real. They say behind a good man is a better woman. So you do need a good woman behind you with good vision that can tell you when you're making a mistake or going down the wrong road, keep you protected as well, not just physically. Sometimes, man, if you have a woman with a really strong mind, she can be the very reason that your life changed around, regardless if you was making money before you met her. You could have been squandering that shit anywhere. So it's like, I feel like we need to change this and make this a personal conversation between who you want to date. I am not saying, fellas, that this is not a problem. He has every right to say what he's saying because he's talking about what he's looking for. But what he's doing is he's reducing her while having this conversation about himself, because he's not speaking for all men. And I think that we're not raised to know how to create a healthy family. And so that's why now we're stuck asking, what are you bringing to the table? As far as what? Survival? Or creating a healthy family and heritage and lineage. You understand? All right, family, I'll continue to do videos like this. Let me know what you think. All right, be evolution, be the change that you want to see. No candle loses its flame from lighting another. And if you were to ever find yourself in the middle of chaos, it's in that chaos that you found yourself. Peace.